Everybody, if you can hear me, let me know that you can hear me. Let me know that you can see me. All right, let me know if you can hear or see me.
Get a little closer, act like I like you. Yeah.
Just a little bit. You can pretend, you know. Hey, y'all, if y'all are joining me, let me know if you can see. Let me know if you can hear me.
It should have been a bread cup.
We ain't doing bread tonight, y'all. We doing herbal essence. Oh, that's you ready.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? If you can hear me and see me, just give me a hello or give me a yep, I can hear you. I got you. All right. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me okay? Can you see me okay? All right. I'm going to go ahead and get the show started. And if you can hear me, let me know. If you're in the chat, just shoot me a message. All right. Oh, hold on, y'all. Let me get my camera back in order. Okay. All right. Looks like we've got one person in that's telling me they can see and hear. All right. Okay, y'all. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to chat. We're going to talk. Tonight, face-to-face on the couch is my special guest, my son, Chris. So we're going to kind of talk a little bit. It's going to be a pretty loose night, just conversation. And the main theme of the show is talking about taking control of your life and when you knew or what signs in your life showed you that it was time for you to take control of your life, right? And if it hasn't happened yet, it will. So we're going to kind of chat back and forth about that. I'm going to ask him some questions about it and when he knew and what specifically happened. And then I'll share a little bit myself. So we're just going to talk back and forth. So if you got any questions or you want to chime in, you know, feel free to do so. What'd you say?
This is some amazing tea, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I always have good tea. So whenever we have conversations like this and I have people over, we always have tea. That's a must.
She'll be launching her own tea line pretty soon. It's
Yeah,
amazing stuff right here. So
that's coming. That's definitely coming. So, but we'll talk about that in another show. All right. So just to get started, you know, we're talking about taking control of your life and when you knew that you needed to take control of your life. And as a matter of fact, we talked about epiphanies, right? And these what do you call them? Awakenings and things to let you know it's time to get up and move and go, take control. Yeah. So talk. We'll talk a little bit about that. What let you know that, and what was it? What happened?
You know, I think for me it was mortality. Like
Mortality.
yeah, you know, being in the Air Force and having a moment come up in my life where, you know, I had to really look at the fact that I could, you know, live or die. It made me kind of look at life differently. And then at that moment I said, well, I gotta, you know, live life by my terms because it's short. It could have been over in basic training, and then, you know, just to be here still is a great thing. So that kind of motivated me to want to take life by the horn to do something different.
Okay, so but tell us what happened specifically that said, you know, it's sort of like a kick in the butt. What was it? What was the wake up call?
Oh, I think the feeling of being at a place in your life where you're really sick. So I ended up getting strep throat really, really bad, and I was hard headed, trying to just power through it and not go see a doctor because I wanted to get out of basic training. And I ended up getting a pretty high fever. I passed out, and they said that if my fever would have kept going on for too long, you know, I could have started the season and possibly passed away from that. It was something that's minor as strep throat, just because I wanted to be, you know, stubborn about it.
You didn't want to go see anybody.
I didn't want to see anybody. Yeah.
So why didn't you want to go see somebody? What was holding you back?
Because I wanted to get out of basics sooner, and I felt like, you know, if I wouldn't see somebody, they'd maybe stay longer.
Oh, so you didn't want to stay in longer than you had to stay in basic.
I was ready to go.
So was it that bad that you would die to keep from getting recycled?
It's it's a lot of brainwashing that goes on. So you think like, oh, I don't want to slow down the flight, and I want all that kind of thing goes into your mind. But no, it was that moment that made me realize that I needed to do something different.
Okay.
Because laying in the hospital bed, and I was sitting there, I'm like, man, all my life up to this point has been whatever I don't want it to be.
Okay.
I was like, from here on out, I'm going to live life the way I want it.
Okay.
And I started doing that. And I didn't know how far it would take me, but, I looked up and I'm doing this. So.
And now you're doing this. Okay. And what is this that you're doing now?
Now I do some of everything. I'm a full entrepreneur, fully self-employed, so I'm always worried about, producing things for myself, teaching courses on how people can start their own businesses with little money, no money at all. Mm-hmm. Showing people how they can get things going and get things funded, how they can, get in contact with a bigger audience so they can sell their product, their merchandise, how they can get their products cheaper. I do it all, but it all started from just deciding to do something different. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So now you talk about, we talked about another event that happened a little bit ago, but in the last couple of weeks, we were talking about this epiphany that you had, or this thing that happened that sort of woke you up a bit too.
Oh yeah.
What was that?
So, you ever just sit around and you're thinking to yourself, and you're just like, man, you're thinking about life and the meaning of life, and that's something that people ponder a lot. It's like, what is the meaning of life? That kind of thing.
Always.
And I without getting too esoteric and spiritual and whatnot, I would definitely say that I had a moment where I was sitting on the couch and it just dawned on me, like, everything in life is a balance between ego and love. It's like you got love energy, which is this great, huge, positive thing, and then you got ego, which is this can be perceived as this negative, big negative thing. But it serves its purpose. But it does serve a purpose. It serves its purpose. But what the key is, and the epiphany was the balance. Okay. Is that you have to find that balance between ego and love, and love energy is oftentimes stronger, and when you find that you're doing things from an egotistical reason, you can shift that into love energy and get a better outcome. Now, yes. I know some people might be thinking, how does this equate to business and stuff like that? But it does, because when you're going into business and you're scared, you're nervous, you're timid, you're putting that energy into whatever you're doing. Mm-hmm. So, and that's that ego energy, because you're thinking like, well, what if I fail? People are going to think I'm a failure. People will say that I was wrong, they were right, that kind of thing. And that energy you're going into your business with. So how do you think it's going to end up? Right. It's going to end up being exactly what you put into it. Right. So the epiphany was, we'll change that with love energy. And I started doing things from a place of love. Like, hey, I love doing this blog. I love eating at this restaurant. Mm-hmm. And then that led me into getting into blogging and into designing web pages and that kind of thing. Because I started chasing the things that I loved and not working out of fear. It's like, well, I'm just going to do things that I love to do. Mm-hmm. And from there, I'm starting to get an abundance of love back in the form of, finances and new clients and new projects and bigger projects. Mm-hmm. And I'm doing things that I love, and it feels great because now I'm waking up every day, doing something that I love to do.
And that is key. Yeah. That's what I was talking about last week when I talked about, self-love and meditation and doing what you love and doing it because you love doing it, not because you're trying to impress anybody, not because you're trying to convince people of anything, but simply for the sheer joy of loving what you do. It's following your passion, and it's that passion that leads you to where you want to be. The money comes. You cannot do it for the money, right? You can't do anything. You can, but if that's your goal, you're going to be miserable. You won't succeed in the way that you really want to succeed. You don't only want money, you also want to be happy. You want to be satisfied. You want to be you want to feel a sense of freedom and a sense of joy, and you don't want to feel like, I'm doing this and I'm grinding and I have to do it for the money and I can't do anything else, right? Because that's those entrepreneurs who talk about working 24/7 and never sleeping, and
which also is not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. But here's the thing. This is the thing. When you're doing what you love, time can pass and you don't notice, right? Exactly. The phrase, how time flies when you're having fun, right? So I'm not saying you can't work 24/7. What I'm saying is, if you're going to do it, do it from a place of love and a place of passion, and that's what I really love doing. Like, I'm an avid reader, and I can get up in the morning and read all day, and before I know it, I've started at 6 in the morning and it's like 10 o'clock at night. That's what I mean when I say you're doing things and you're passionate about it. It doesn't feel like that many hours have passed.
It doesn't feel like work.
When you feel the hours passing and you keep looking at the clock and you keep, oh my God, when is this going to be over? That's the kind of work I'm talking about, that some entrepreneurs say is what you want to do, right? You want to work. You got to work 24/7. You can't ever sleep, and you can't ever rest. And you can rest, but you can make your work should be your fun. Yeah, it should be fun. It shouldn't be a grueling, grinding.
You should enjoy it. You should enjoy doing whatever you're doing. Like,
right.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like if you don't wake up eager to get to whatever you need to get to for that day, then you're not doing what you love to do. Mm-hmm. And personally, I know me. Like when I wake up and I gotta go make a sign order, or I gotta go do a Zoom call, or I have to go shoot something for the blog. Like that is exciting to me. That gets my blood rushing. Like I said, there are times when I'm like, do I have to go to sleep?
Yeah.
Because
that's how you want to feel.
I'm having so much fun. I'm like, man, do I have to go to sleep right now? Because I'd rather be up, working on this project because I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
And that's a different kind of
different
energy and things. And then you're not tired. I don't feel worn out and beat down. Like I feel like I just don't have enough time, but that's from excitement though. You know? It's that feeling that when you're a kid and you're ready to go on a roller coaster, but you gotta wait in that long line.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's what it feels like for me.
That's what you,
but you don't want to feel like, oh, God, I gotta do this again. Like, nah.
Like most people feel when they get up in the morning to go to work. It's like, oh my God, I gotta go do this again. And you get to work and you're grumpy, you're frustrated, you take it out on other people, and that just eats at you. It doesn't help you in any way. So if you're going to do something, do it because you love it. Now, going back to last week and the week before when I talked about meditation, meditating, we both meditate. I've meditated, like I said, I've meditated for over 37 years. I did it with them. I showed them how to do it.
Since they were kids,
since they were little. And so, you found the benefits of meditating. And my passion is meditating, teaching people to meditate. Doing the herbal blends and working with the blends of herbs. And, when I give you herbs, I'm not giving you herbs just to give you a pill. I'm telling you what it's good for. I'm showing you that it's a system. It's not just I'm popping a pill and life is great. Because you didn't get where you are overnight. And one pill or 10 pills or however many you take is not going to get you where you want to be overnight. It's a system. The body is a process. The mind is a process. So meditation, eating well, exercising, and taking your supplements. It's a system. So when I work with you, I work the whole system. I don't just do one part. And I'm very passionate about it. Sometimes it gets frustrating working with people because people want quick fixes and they only want one thing, right? Oh, just give me this and and that's going to heal me and it's going to cure me. It's a process. Everything is a process. And so you have to go step by step and give it time to work. When you start lifting weights, muscles don't start popping up out of nowhere. You know what I mean? So you got to do it over time. And then you start seeing the muscles grow and build and you start seeing those things happen. You don't get there overnight. So, you have to start, right? I
mean, although I will say I did take the replenisher and the cleanser, and I didn't do anything to my diet differently. I didn't work out anymore, nothing like that. And I mean, I was 253, pushing 260 this same time last year, and now I'm 198. So I mean, taking the herbs, they help get you started at least. And you still got to do the work. Like now, I'm also hitting the gym now.
Yeah.
But I mean. Yeah, I mean, I can attest to it. Just taking the herbs, my hair is growing thicker, my skin feels better. Like it's good to use.
Oh yeah,
you got to keep using it.
Yeah, and
it ain't gonna happen overnight. But I tell you, the first 2 months you might not notice anything, but by that third month, you notice your hair looks better, skin looks better,
energy,
got more energy, and then weight starts coming off. I was losing about 2.3 pounds a week.
Okay,
that's about what I was at.
And that's a good that's a safe number of weight to pounds to lose. People talk about losing 10, 15, 20 pounds in a week. That's great, but that's not what you want. That's not sustainable, and it's not safe, right? You want to do it safely. So I was happy to hear that with him because it started out with just me. I was just doing it for myself, And I started losing the weight, and I was like, okay, wait, what did I do different, right? I started feeling better. My skin started clearing up. My hair, look, right?
And like both of us.
Exactly. I mean, and I've done, people talk about you got to do this to your hair and you got to do that to your hair. I wash it, I condition it.
That's it.
And, I make sure that it stays halfway decent. That's it. And I trim it when it needs to be trimmed.
I don't even do that.
But we'll see. But I mean, it's going to grow anyway, right? Your hair's going to grow no matter what you do.
Like on those herbs, it's like they just grow. Like my hair, whenever I'm on the herbs, my hair grows at least like an inch faster, it seems like.
Does it?
To me, because like just...
Well, I think that replenisher gives you, like I said, you're getting all the nutrients that your body needs.
That's what I think
that helps a lot. But yeah, I mean, you want to do things, you want to do it safely. You want to do it in a way that's sustainable. It's a lifestyle. It's not a race. It's a marathon. Mm-hmm. It takes time, and it's natural. And we talked about the meditation. We talked about the wake up call. For me, it was I got to a point, and yes, sometimes you talk about mortality. You feel your mortality.
Yeah.
Yes, but I think I did that before. I mean, I've always meditated, so it was early in my life that I started to feel that kind of mortality calling kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think for me, it was more dealing with my children when I was raising you all and trying to make sure that I was here for them. I've seen people die from cancer. I've had people die from, many different illnesses, colon cancers, diabetes. There's been lots of stuff, in my family. And so I thought, there's got to be a way you can age without falling apart. There's got to be. I mean, with all the things that we have in life, and I know God has given us everything that we need to be well and to take care of ourselves, there's got to be a better way.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I started at a young age doing it. I started at 15. I didn't wait till I was older. But then as I got older, I started learning more and more stuff. And as I worked with the herbs longer, I started learning more and more about the herbs and what they do for you and how they help you and how it works as a system and not just by itself, right? And so so my wake up call was, I sat and I thought, and it wasn't necessarily illness, although that did happen. But it was more, I sat and started thinking, I want to be here for my kids as long as I can. And I want to be here for me as long as I can. I want to be functional. I don't want anybody to have to take care of me, feed me, change my diapers. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not saying those things are negative or bad things. I'm saying, do they have to happen? Right?
I don't think so.
Is there a way we can prevent those things? And so that's what got me so passionate and into it, from the age of 15 to where I am now. So, when I tell you about herbs, when I tell you about meditation, when I talk about, working out, I'm telling you from the standpoint of these are things that I've done and these are things that have sustained me. And everything doesn't work for everybody, but you can make adjustments so that it works for you. And we can talk through that. And you can, I know that it works because I've done it. And I'm not the only one. There are a lot of people out here who've done it.
That's what I was going to say, though. I was going to say, I tried doing things the other way. And it didn't work. It's rough. I mean, why make life harder?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I look at it, because I tried doing things my own way, which is, being hard-headed, going against the grain, not eating the right foods, not taking the right herbs, not meditating. I mean, meditating to me, that helps reset.
That's life. I'm telling you, that's the cheat code to life. If you want the cheat code, meditate.
So some of my best ideas came in meditative states, and then I go out and do it, and it works out.
Or they come after. Everything doesn't happen when you sit down to meditate. Yeah. Some things happen later, but it's the meditation that gets you primed for those things to come through, even if it's coming through at a later time, a later time in the day. But it always comes through when it's needed or when it's supposed to come through, right? It's always it's perfect timing. Perfect timing.
And meditation don't have to be like you don't have to be like Buddha sitting there, quiet, like right. Everybody has the perception of meditation being like this guy sitting on a lily pad somewhere, and it's like
that's what I see.
That ain't quite the way it is. Like you can take 5 minutes out of your day to just breathe and center your thoughts and get your energy back right.
Right.
And then go from there. I mean, you start somewhere. Like I've been meditating for a couple of years, and I strayed away from it, came back to it, and but I've always been pretty faithful about taking that time to myself to clear my head and center myself. And with one of my companies, Be Ready, we say stay focused. That's the key. Like, you got to stay focused.
I say that all the time.
And you can only stay focused by meditation.
Yeah. How did it feel when you weren't meditating? See,
it just feels like you're fighting against yourself the whole time. Like, it feels like you're in an energetic loop.
It's
and
a
you're
struggle.
Just constantly fighting.
You feel like you're struggling. Yeah. And that's what I noticed. I felt like when I meditate, everything smooths out. Now, like I said, it's a difference between riding in a Cadillac and not feeling the bumps on the road, and riding in a Pinto.
Yeah.
Wait, who knows what a Pinto is anymore?
You know,
I'm dating myself, y'all. But and just bumps. Everything is just bumpy, and everything is just crazy. That's the difference. So, like I said before, try it. And if you feel like you can't do it on your own, or if you feel like, hey, I need a little bit of help to get it consistent, to be consistent, get to my website, give me a call, shoot me a message, sign up for one of the meditation courses. I'm serious. I'm so passionate about helping people with that and helping them be successful and showing you how successful it is. It really can be. Like I said, if you want the cheat code to life, that's it right there.
Trust me, I grew up meditating, so I can tell you the benefits. Like, when I lived my life without meditation, it was a struggle. Like, I was struggling way more just trying to do simple things. And that's why I lived my life with meditation, and life got easier.
You felt the difference.
And that's why now I do it every day. I focus on trying to stay focused, actively reminding myself to stay focused.
Yeah.
And it works. It's paying off.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if any of you have ever really tried it or tried it consistently. But like I said last week, I challenged people to try doing it for 30 days straight. Every day, same time, without fail. And see how it works for you. And then let me know how it works for you. Shoot me a message and say, hey, this worked, or hey, this is where I had some issues. That's why I invite people to come and try it with me and kind of work with me, because then I can help you work through those challenges that you bump into when you're trying to learn to do it consistently. Okay. And then pretty soon you'll be off and running and you can do it all on your own. I totally believe in, empowering you and helping you to understand how to find your own answers within yourself. That's what the QHHT sessions are for. Chris did a QHHT session. It was fantastic.
It was dope.
It was really good. He's done it twice, actually.
Yep.
So,
I recommend it if you haven't done it yet.
Yeah. Yeah, give him a little brief overview of kind of what it was like for you. You don't have to go deeply into it, but just kind of what was it like? What did you learn? Being an entrepreneur, I get up very, very early in the morning. I try to start my days like around 5 or 6 if I can. But in my QHHT session, it was pretty cool. I mean, hey, I tell you guys, one thing I learned was, so in this life, I'm deathly afraid of like deep water that I can't see the bottom of, and I never knew why, and I always wondered why it was the case. And when I was doing my QHHT session, I came to a point where I was in a field, and I went around the back because I heard some screaming. I went around the back of the barn, and I saw my wife there, and my kids that got swept away in a river, and and we couldn't find it. It was sad. So, and this was a previous life.
Yeah, and it was previous.
You don't
life.
believe in previous lives? That's okay, but this was the situation.
And me, I'm neither here nor there on the debate about it. I just say it's an experience that I had, and the thing is, when you're in the QHHT session, it feels as real as like us sitting here right now talking. Like you're seeing it yourself play out, and like when I look at my hands are whoever I was at that time. So it was interesting. I mean, it, to say the least, it helped me understand some things, and I mean, whether it's a chemical misfiring of brain signals or it's a past life, whatever you want to call it.
There's something to it.
There's something to be learned from that.
Yeah.
And now I made it a point to learn how to swim. So.
That's a good reason to learn how to swim, right? But yeah, and in many other sessions that I've done with clients, I've had some very interesting sessions with people going into other lives and remembering who they were before and experiencing firsthand who they were before and what they did. I had my own QHHT session, and it was really cool. I mean, for me to do the sessions is one thing, but to actually go through a session that was my session, it was very, very cool. Now I know why I love nature so much. Now I know why I love to be outdoors so much. And now I really understand why I have such a connection to nature and meditating, and because that was pretty much my life before, so, and I do believe in past lives. That I do. You know, and I think with everything that I've experienced, with everything that I know and I've been through and experienced for myself and with my clients, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. At first I used to go, well, you know, yeah, people might be a little, you know, but no, I mean, documented. I have several documented cases, well, actually more than several, many, where I've dealt with clients and I've seen, you know, more than one life, not just one, many. And they're very interesting and they're very insightful to help you understand who you are now and why you are now the way you are. If you've got fears, if you've got anxiety, depression, if you have pain, like headaches and things like, you know, anything like that, or you're experiencing any kind of sense of trauma and you know you haven't experienced any trauma in this life, migraines, let me tell you, the gamut. I have gone through the gamut with people and I understand totally why they go through what they go through. And in those sessions, I'm really able to help them release and relieve those kinds of things. It's a very cool process. Very cool process. It's QHHT, by the way, is quantum healing hypnosis technique. So now, and I think meditation is a great partner with that because that helps you to manage through, once you've had a session, it helps you to manage through that, manage your connection, like that, keep that strong connection with your inner self, you know, the intuition, God voice, God consciousness, whatever you want to call it. It really helps with that. So, you know, all this to say, all this ties in with the whole self-love theme that I talk about all the time. You know, meditation is about self-love. It's about going in and understanding you, finding you, connecting with you, empowering you, you know, finding your own power because you have it. And, you know, the QHHT is about going within and understanding who you are, who you've been, where you are, why you're going through what you're going through. Again, it goes back to the self. You know, everything comes back to the self. And that's what I try to get people to understand. I don't want you to come to me all the time. You only need one QHHT session. Yep. You don't need more than one, you know, and it takes as long as it takes, at least 4 hours minimum. But let me tell you, it's a 4 hours well spent. I've had 8-hour sessions. You know, I've had a 10-hour session. So it just depends. And I don't rush anybody. It's the same rate for however many hours you go through, it's the same rate. Doesn't change. So, but it's extremely insightful and it's extremely empowering for the people that I work with. So, you know, those sessions are really cool. Really cool. That's all right. I forgive you.
Man, I'm telling you, like, you gotta think, being an entrepreneur,
that's
my
just
days start
signifying the end of the show.
My days start really early. Like I try to be up around about 5, and I usually don't go to bed until usually after midnight. So I usually go to bed like around 1 or so. So I mean, get 4 hours sleep. But don't do what I do. Get good sleep.
Get some rest.
I'm just so excited that I wish I didn't have to sleep and I could just work 24/7. But
meditate a little more.
Yeah, you know, and that's what it is. It's just meditating. Like, but you want to get to that place in life. I'd like to kind of bring it all back home, I guess. How you know when it's time. You know when it's time when you get to that place in your life where you're like, look, I'm super excited. This is all I want to do. This is what I love to do. And nothing else that you do just makes you happy anymore, other than doing whatever it is you love. And I got to that place where, like, you know, I had a great job with a great salary, but it wasn't making me happy. And matter of fact, it made me miserable. But whenever I would do the things that I'm doing now, I just loved it. And it wasn't like work to me. Yeah. And now that I'm doing that and I'm actually turning profit from it, it's starting to become a sustainable thing that I can do to sustain me. And that's the best feeling in the world. Yeah, yeah. So.
And when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's when you know it's time to take control of your life. When things keep blowing up and you feel like you have no one else left in the world, that's the key to take control of your life. I mean, it comes to you in so many ways. And, you know, you can do it. If I can do it, everybody can do it, and everybody can do it. Everybody has the power within them. Everybody has God within them. Everybody has the answers within them. You just need to learn how to go in there and find them and learn how to connect with them. And that's exactly what I show you how to do in any of my services, whether it be QHHT, meditation, it doesn't matter. The face-to-face on the couch, that's another session that I have. Those are private sessions that I hold that really work with if you're concerned about any kind of health issues, if you're concerned about any kind of anything going on with you. We sit down and we talk and we go through what it is and what's causing it, and we get to the root of it. We don't talk about surface things. We don't talk about medications. We don't talk about any of that. We get down to the core of what's causing it, and we resolve it. So, all right, y'all. I think that's it for my show. I think it's about 7:30 now. So, thank you all so much for joining. Thank you, Christopher, for coming on and being my guest. I hope it was somewhat insightful for y'all, or very insightful for y'all. Let me know. Leave me some comments. Leave me a message. Check out the website, please, and see if there's anything that you might be interested in that you like doing. The QHHT sessions I only do in person, so if you're local, we can do them. Or if you happen to be local at some point, come on in and let me know. Get on the website and book a session. You can book your own. And then if you ever want to do a meditation session, I do those virtually, and I do the face-to-face sessions on the couch virtually as well. So no matter where you are in the world, you can still get some benefit. So, let me know. Stay focused.
Yeah, stay focused.
Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Reach out if you need to, and I will see you at the same time next week on the couch, 7 p.m. See y'all later. Love and light.
That's good.